Hello, welcome back to Aaron's Games. I'm Aaron, and this is my Blueprints Day 1 run. I'm going to record some live commentary as we go, and we can enjoy it together. Lovely. I had been working on the Day 1 challenge for about 6 weeks at the point that I finished it, so I wasn't necessarily expecting to do as well as I did in this one, so there are some weird decisions. I'm sure we can go through them as they happen here, and yeah, I thought it might be interesting to just talk through. If you haven't played Blueprints, this video is major spoilers. I wouldn't recommend watching this if you haven't played at all. If you haven't reached room 46 at all yet, you might not want to watch this video because there's a lot of revealing information within. So yes, here we go. You've been properly warned. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't keep a count of how many times I attempted this challenge, so that is by the by, that's my mistake. So we're on to the first decision, which I watched a lot of advice, and it said that make the front door a closet. So we start with the sleep mask and the key. Sleep mask is very helpful because one of the big facets of this challenge is managing your number of steps and having enough steps available to make it through everywhere you need to make it through. So I don't know why it's paused here. I might have been answering a message or something. Yes, and then obviously you want to try and maximize your efficiency, so my strategy is to move forward as much as possible, and in rooms with multiple doors, open all the doors before deciding which direction to move ahead in. So obviously into the parlour to get the gems from here. There's some things that I really like about Day 1. Repeating Day 1 over and over again means that the parlour is always very easy. Car keys, which I don't think I used in the end. The parlour puzzles can get really, really convoluted by the number of days that you've gone on, but these first days, aside from one, which repeats every now and then, are pretty easy. So get the lavatory out of the way. That's a good place to put it because it gets it out of the card drawer rotation, and you don't need to go in there, so you don't waste a step. So it's good. It doesn't seem like it's a good choice, but it is. Then we go up through the corridor, which is a free unlocked door, into the den to create 2 more doors. Obviously have a look out on that right hand side for a chest, if there is one. There is. I call them chests, but the game calls them trunks. Doesn't seem like the right word to me. I prefer chest. Maybe it's the D&D in me. Moving on to the nook for a free key, and again, as we said before, make sure you open all doors before you proceed through a room because efficiency. I can't remember what I did. Ooh, courtyard is not the most optimal choice, but I think I was just thinking to keep going upwards. Obviously we've got another chest here. There's a few dig sites to add in. We lose that door, but it's not a great loss in terms of what we then gain from digs and the chest. This is a great find here with the 2 dice and the coins in the chest. Fantastic. 2 dice figure quite heavily into the strategy in terms of getting the tomb. I can't actually remember which method I used on this video yet, so I won't go into that just yet, but that is a strategy, a key strategy for the Day 1. Put in the dark room here. Don't go in, even if the lights are on, you haven't had the switch yet. I've discovered that you can avoid going in and then just cycle the switch. It's only opening the door which causes the lights to go off, so that's a good tip for later if you're trying to save steps. Grab the key, move forward. This seems like it's going to be an obvious decision for me. I would, based on how I'm thinking, go immediately for the nursery, but I think I mulled it over for a moment. But yes, the nursery is another really valuable addition. So with the nursery and the sleep mask, that means every bedroom you draw and then move into gives you 10 extra steps. You always want to try and draft the nursery as early as possible in this run, and unfortunately you won't be able to get you're very unlikely to get the upgraded version on Day 1, which means you can boost that to 8 steps. But yeah, no, most of the time when you upgrade a room, it's for a room that you've already got, unfortunately. Another pause here, probably another message. Lots of people talk to me. I'm just gonna pull the... I'm not gonna... I was going to pull the blind down because the sun is right on me. I will take the moment actually while we're not moving. pull the blind down because I'm going to roast here otherwise. Don't know if you can still hear me. Hopefully you can. Oh, a really long pause here. Don't know what happened. But what was I saying? Yes, so the nursery and the sleep mask are very great combo to go together, especially earlier on when you haven't got that many bedrooms. So you can obviously keep adding the multiples of those to the steps. I don't know what I was saying there. This bit might get cut if it goes on much longer. As well as the day one challenge, there is obviously the doing getting to room 46 in under an hour, which you can do across multiple days. But usually, when you finish a day one run, you'll also achieve the sub 1 hour time. So my overall time. Oh, here we go, back on the map. My overall time for this day is about 42 minutes. I think was the actual time. I should have put a timer on this, but never mind. It was 6 minutes in, but I didn't start the timer from when the game started. Plus there's a lot of spurious pauses, so I might try and beat my time in future if I can handle the stress of the day one challenge again. Possibly not. I've since completed curse mode, and that was a lot easier, ironically. So into the pantry, which gives us a fruit, only an apple here. Sometimes it's a banana or even an orange for the most steps possible, but never mind. Billiard room to get the special keys. Always, I love the billiard puzzle. Even when this one gets really, really complicated, I find it quite easy to pass through. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this puzzle and the way it works. So, obviously, again, with day one, it's going to be amongst the easiest. So, these solutions are very simple to play with. Both of my kids have been playing Blueprints, and they have been watching me at various points in the day one run, and I had to keep telling them to look away to avoid spoilers of puzzles and things they haven't seen yet. But yeah, they're both well averse with the billiard room puzzle as well. Interestingly, in our main run, the one we've been doing the main story on, we've turned this into a break room, which if you end there gives you a key card, which is very handy for following days. West Wing Hall again, keep those options open, and then we get a southwest corner room that we can just make something dead-endy. I thought I did. Went for the locksmith. It's a good backup plan. Because another one of the trickiest parts of day one is managing those resources. I can't remember if I said that earlier, but making sure you've got enough steps, but also you've got enough keys and gems to keep you going. Coins are less important. That's a disappointing pull with the prism key, because I think the prism key is rubbish. It can be useful, but I don't think as nearly as often as the secret garden key, which is what I was hoping for there. But never mind. We carry on, and there's only one room here which lets us continue, so although it's wasting all of our gems, it's worth doing. And it turns out alright because you get the hammer here, and the hammer is another very important piece of a strategy in finding the power hammer. Ingredients required for a power hammer will open up some more options for you in terms of how you can get to room 46. Haven't got the shovel yet, so I can't get those dig sites, but I have my mapping tool, which I can highlight on there that there are dig sites available and go back to get them later. Tricky choice here because I haven't got a gem for the commissary. I've got 2 dice, but I need them. I went for the utility closet instead because of the dark room, so we can cycle that switch and activate the dark room again and avoid that penalty. Cycle the switch, turn it back on again, lovely. I've also turned the security doors off here. It really depends on what you get first as to what your strategy should be with the security doors, but here I've got the utility closet before security, so I'll turn them off. And then when we find security, we can set the settings accordingly. Interestingly, I forgot to turn off my desktop alerts. Apologies. Turn them off now. This is live, people. Well, it won't be by the time you're watching it. A little bit of a backtrack to the dark room, but it's necessity, and that west wing is now... We don't need to go back there apart from the veranda. So, well, or the locksmith, I suppose, but there's no pressing urgency to get back there. Room and building layout is important to consider. I had some really horrendous days in terms of layout. It's really good to be able to access both sides if you can. The battery pack being there is a great pull further on towards the strategy of getting the power hammer. Now that's an interesting use of a dice there. I've forgotten I'd done that. Obviously necessity because I didn't have the gems. The guest bedroom to get an extra 20 steps is a good point here, and you usually get a gem. Sometimes you can get the security card in here as well if you're very lucky, or a lockpick as well is sometimes available in here. But a gem is just fine, means that the room it's a free one anyway, but means you're getting credit from that anyway. Put in the chapel here. Coins are not the most valuable in terms of day one runs. Obviously they can get you things, but I don't think they're the most important resource to worry about, so I'm a bit devil may care when it comes to coins. The bunk room here for a whopping 20 steps again, because it counts as 2 bedrooms, gives you double those bonuses, so really stacking up the steps now, which is very, very handy for this sort of run. Sometimes you can find items in here and they'll be duplicated as well. There is a cloister combination that leaves items in bedrooms if you get them from there, and you get 2 of them. So I've had instances where I've picked up 2 silver keys, which I didn't even know was possible. The bedroom here, every time you draw a bedroom on day 1 you will get a chest, which is really good to know, and obviously we've now got the hammer, so we don't need to worry about the key cost either, and we get a bonus key from that and an extra gem. So we're starting to look a bit healthier again in resources. You'll notice that I sweep the rooms as I go because I'm used to looking for particular things. Prism key actually worked out well for me here with the boudoir. I would never recommend putting the maid's chamber because I hate that it shuts down the amount of items you're going to find. Ooh, lovely extra coins here. Look away if you don't want a safe code reveal. That's coming up now. This is one of the safes. Obviously in the main game, if you're doing continuously, the safes once opened will stay open, but on day 1 you have to keep opening the safes, which is once you've got the codes in mind, that's great, but it's mostly annoying, really, having to input those codes so many times. Another interesting play with the silver key, but this does yield us the Great Hall in a nice, interesting position. Did I go for it? Went for the aquarium. Interesting. But that actually helps because also on day 1 you always get the fish dish in the dining room, which is boosted by the aquarium, so that's a good strategy there. Broken lever completes the trio of items we need for the power hammer. Really exciting, and obviously we pick up the shovel, so we can now start picking up those dig sites as we go. The aquarium is a great thing because it also counts as a bedroom, so you'll notice I got an extra 10 steps from that. Gymnasium we've already turned off, so we don't need to worry about losing steps from that, and there is sometimes an item on the bench there. Again, opening those both doors before proceeding, deciding which direction to move. That's a tricky one. The commissary would have led us left anyway, so might as well put security here. And did I move forward that way? Can't remember what I did. I'm enjoying this, watching this again as much as you are, if you are. There's a security door. We haven't actually, there's a mistake. I wasted a step there. That was a silly mistake, not going to the security computer to sort the key card system. But no matter, it's only 1 step lost, and we can do this door anyway in the meantime, so we'll do that here with the East Wing Hall, again to keep those options open. I can't remember if I ended up bypassing that door anyway. I think I did, but we'll see. Observatory is mostly useless on a day 1 run. It's a gem in exchange for a coin, so I didn't put that. It's absolutely awful economy, so I put the dead end there again, knowing that I have that other door available to fill in that gap if I need to. So getting the gem and the key are important here. Having 1 extra coin I can take or leave. Oh, I can't remember carrying on, but oh, and interestingly, I didn't go for the greenhouse there, knowing that I had the power hammer, which would open up the left door, but went for the conference room, which is always handy to have, because when you get the secret garden, that spreads fruit. When you get the office, that spreads coins. Here's where I realised that I've been an idiot again, and continued. I should have gone back for that security door. Maybe I was getting cocky for the amount of steps, but anyway, carrying on as much as possible. Commissary goes there. Interesting. Is it going to be? Yeah, okay. Well, we've got the gems, we've got the coins, so maybe there's something interesting we can get from that. Another security door, which is what shut me down. Never buy an upgrade disc on your day 1 run. That's a waste of 15 coins. We'll get the gems, and because keys, we've got the locksmith already. Keys are more expensive in the commissary than they are in the locksmith, so don't spend 10 coins on a key if you can avoid it. I was obviously here for a while answering another text or something, so yeah, we'll just spin for time as it is. really frustratingly, in my main game, we've stopped finding upgrade discs, and I don't know why. Even the methods to try and generate them, like trading valuable items from the showroom, isn't working. Now on this route, we're shut down completely by those security doors, so it's time to go back to security. But I don't think, if I was thinking straight, I don't think I went back again. Obviously, when you enter security for the first time, you get this cutscene. Always skip it on a day one run. Always check this area, because there's sometimes items there, and there was a gem. Very nice. Didn't need it, but very happy to have it. So, if you've turned the doors off, you go to your keycard system. That's also a good thing to do. Check the inventory, see if there's anything you might have missed. Go to the keycard system, change the security level to high to spawn more security doors, and change the offline mode to unlocked, and that will mean that they're all bypassed, which is really easy way of getting some free doors, as I call them, and not having to worry about keys as often. You do still need to be cautious about your keys. Another quick search, because I was looking for that vault key, couldn't remember where I put it. This is an amazing pull of the foundation. I think possibly about 2% of my day one runs yielded the foundation. It is a major strategy point, and obviously you'll see later it comes into effect, but it's so rare that it's not a reliable one, in my opinion, for a day one run. Because also you need the foundation, but you need then to have access to the door behind it to be able to get the lift and get down into the basement where you need to go. So it's a double whammy. There were a couple of times where I drew the foundation, didn't manage to get the lift control, so it was ultimately useless. There was one time where I discovered though that you can still call the lift if you've got the security card and you get down to the basement through the bypass. You can still call the lift down, which was an interesting, joyful discovery, but it obviously didn't yield a win in the end on that one. I think I ran out of steps that day. Again, because it's a day one run, you have to get this, do this every time. Sorry for the lack of spoiler warning, but I did warn you at the start of the video, so if you're still watching at this point and you haven't seen that puzzle solution, really it's on you. Again, a bit annoying to do this day by day, but the drawing room does become free from doing it because you don't spend that gem in the end, so it is worth doing. And also you get the luxury of being able to redraw your rooms. I can't remember what I went for here. I think I went for the greenhouse. Sacrificing that one room space for the value of the greenhouse. Yeah, there we go. And because of the option to put the lever in, or if you get the power hammer you can smash through that wall and make it a door. But I think I just left it to start with because it's worth just balancing those options. Keep those options open. If you make a choice to put the broken lever in there too early and you later need the power hammer, you're going to regret it. So it's best to keep that option open. Again, I've got that mapping tool which helps me to highlight what I need and where, or what I need to go back for. Again, just scouring every surface just to check for hidden items. Wasting a step potentially, but using the watering can to get an extra gem I don't think is a waste. It's one step for one gem, I'll take that. Well, it's two steps really for there. But anyway, so the watering can's a really good item. Pop the garage here, an easy choice, gives you 3 keys. We know that we've already turned the garage on, so we have got the access to outside. Now interestingly here, this is the point where I lamented not having those dice, because usually when you go outside you don't draw the tomb on the first draw. It is possible, but it's very, very unlikely, so that's why you need those 2 dice. Upgrade disc, not hugely bothered by that, although it's nice to have. So you can see that I avoided the garage because I didn't think the tomb was going to be a viable option for this run, so I just left it. Took the keys, took the upgrade disc and carried on rather than wasting those steps going outside. Cloister there, got enough gems to cover it. Curious choice, but you do get a gem back with the watering can, and it does give you those extra doors. Again, it's all about keeping those options open. We haven't got the pool on this run, which gives you the pump room and the sauna and all that stuff. The pump room and the pool is another important facet of this day one challenge, so that's what I'm looking for now, to try and get those back up. So there's 3 things that you need to get in a particular way. You need access underground on 2 sides to be able to solve the gear puzzle, which we'll see later, and you need one of the doors open in the antechamber at least, and you need access to that door. So here we've got access to the door. Here we get another upgrade disc. Again, bit of a gamble, not hugely bothered about those, but it's nice to have them there. Open up the drawer, get the safe, missed the switch the first time, do it again. And then while that's raising, we can do the upgrade discs. I can't actually remember what upgrades I got, or whether they were ones that I already had at that point or not. I think they both were, but we can enjoy that together. Possibly enjoying another text message there. I'm just too popular, guys. So I really like this mechanic in the game, and the first time we discovered it, it was a moment of joy. There's so many moments of joy in this game. Obviously we've already got the Nook, so this is a waste of time, but Bacon and Eggs was a very helpful upgrade when I did it in curse mode, because it's an early room and you get 10 steps from the Bacon and Eggs. And the morning room, which gives you gems the next day, which is also handy for curse mode. Second one, the cloister, again, just pulled it. So this cloister actually has, I think, 14 different upgrades, which are really fun. I can't remember which one I went for on this one, but it doesn't matter because I've already got the cloister. So I think I just went for the bedroom one, which is the one I did on curse mode and actually proved very, very helpful there as well. What one did I go for? Maybe I was just evaluating them. Or I had another text message, maybe. About halfway through, drop me a like and a follow, subscribe, and a comment if you feel like it. I'm hoping to reinvigorate this channel soon, so stepping back into the world of begging for engagement. But if you're here watching at this point, you're obviously enjoying something, so just pop a like and help me in a tiny, tiny way. For basically no effort from you. I don't know what I was doing here. I probably was browsing my phone or something. This might go on for a while. We can enjoy the flashing animation of the cloister. So in our main attempt on this, we chose the luck one, the Cloister of Rinna on the right. I have, on occasion, I think on dare mode, I chose the Cloister of Vea for dirt piles when you get a room with a fireplace, and then on the curse mode, as I said, I did the bedroom one. Oh, excuse me. But it's irrelevant here because, as I said, we can't go back into the room. So yeah, fun. I can't remember if I left my microphone unlocked or not, so I might be talking over myself. Hopefully I'm not, but if I am, then I'll have to cut this whole section and replace it. Annoyingly, I can't. Oh, I wonder if I can actually. Hang on. While I'm doing this, monitor and output. There we go. Now I can hear. Hopefully I can hear. Can I hear? Just while it's doing that. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. Lovely. So I can hear what's going on. But the good news is I'm not talking, so that's helpful. I might end up cutting this out when I go back to it. If I end up captioning it, I might do that. So we'll see. But for now, we just watch the blank screen. And I'll tell you more about my upcoming plans. Oh wait, no, I'm selecting now. I have to leave you in suspense. Go for the bedroom again. No need, because we're not going in there. We're not going to get that on this day. Can I hear that? Yes, I can. There we go. Oh, it seems a bit delayed. Is it? Spreading gold, because I've got the... oh, that was loud. Because I've got the conference room. We know that the coins will go to the conference room, so that's good to know. Turn that down a bit because it's very loud. There we go, back to normal. So we know when we get back to the conference room later, there'll be loads of coins there. That's handy to know. And if you can manage to get the lucky purse, then that's a really good combo too. The dining room is available immediately because I drew it on rank 8, so that's fun. And obviously we've already got the aquarium, so we don't need to worry about whether we can boost for the extra steps or not. One thing we haven't got in this run is the salt, but it only adds 1 step, so for this it's not a massive loss. It is in general, if you're eating lots of fruit, it's nice to have the salt to get salty apples, salty bananas, salty oranges, which is, I always think, is hilarious. But here we don't need it. That's another door to the antechamber as well, access way. That's interesting. Passageway is a very expensive choice for one active door, but I'd rather have that than the what's the name, servants' chambers or whatever it is, maid's chamber, because that stops you finding items, and obviously we need to find as many items as possible. Here's me examining the map and looking at the items I've already got. Now obviously you can see here that passageway could be connected to that conference room, which would be a really great synergy for the upper levels of the house. I can't remember if I managed it or not, but also actually the passageway wasn't a bad choice because it gave me access to the foundation. I don't know if I realised that at the time, because I definitely didn't realise it just now, but yeah, there we go. So that gives us access to the lift, gives us access to the basement from this side, which is the side that you need to use to go when you're heading to the actual tunnel. So yes, we carry on from here. Obviously it's a security door, but we don't need to worry about that anymore because I've turned them off. So it's a free door at this point, which is excellent. Lovely. So heading back for some reason. I can't remember why I was heading back. I think it was an evaluation of, is there much point in me carrying on if I don't get access to the tomb? But, oh, interesting, I open up the south door, sacrificing the option for the power hammer. Curious for me, but also because I hadn't had the weight room at that point, which is where you would get the lever access from doing that. So perhaps that was that. And then I think here is when I realised, well, actually, while I'm here, I might as well try the tomb. Because if not, I'll get some valuable items. Oh, maybe not. No. Okay. So, oh, I see. We're going into the antechamber to pick up that basement key, which further annoys me because then it comes up as an option for when you reach locked doors. Would you like to use a special key? Oh yeah, have I got one? Oh, it's the basement key. Okay, interesting. So moving on. Maybe I didn't even go to the garage, I can't remember. Workshop is an excellent bridge here. Frustrating because I've just given away the rest of the power hammer and the broken lever, but it's still handy to have here, and also avoids the archives, which is a very annoying red room. The weight room, we could sort of take it with 92 steps, but again, that step economy is important, so it's a very considered decision. So workshop is the logical choice there, definitely. Making the detector shovel is a great combo because it means that whenever you dig, you'll find. Oh, what did I end up doing? I was just trying out to see if I could do anything else. Did I make the... burning glass. Burning glass is useful in the main game, but not on day one. There's not really anything functional that you can do on day one. Oh, I didn't even do the detector shovel, did I? Interesting choice. Normally I do, because it means that you get more keys. Perhaps I was feeling a bit cocky or rebellious at that point, but... never mind. Ultimately, this is a victory run, so it didn't matter. Spoiler alert, I do win. You should hopefully have known that going into this, but there we are. So, down, back... Oh, no, up here, into the... Oh, that's another wasted step there. Ah, there's the vault key, which is ultimately useless on a day one run, but pick it up for completionism anyway. Stock up on gems here. Obviously you're limited in how many you can buy, but that does take us back up to 5 gems. Don't buy an upgrade disc, what a waste, and don't buy a key because that's a waste of money on a day one. The Great Hall is the only option that gives us a door north, and it will give us the east wing antechamber lever if we go in there, but with 2 keys, it's a bit of a gamble. Oh, I took it. I took the gamble. I can't remember doing this. Let's see what happens. I actually usually hate gambling on doors in here. So middle is usually the first choice. And here, it paid off straight through the door. Incredibly lucky pull there. And then we are going with the... What did I choose? I don't even know. Kitchen or laboratory. Definitely don't want to choose the mail room because it's another waste of a room on day one. You don't get anything for it apart from a dead end. The lab is an interesting choice. A nice free chest there. Silver key. Fantastic pull. Ultimately useless because there's no other locked doors that I could use it on. But it's nice to have the extra gem. Again, scope out the place. I realise that beeping is from the Great Hall, not from anything in here, but again, you've got to keep looking at all surfaces where there might be items just to double check. Some of them are very sneakily hidden. can't remember what the experiment I was again, but this is also quite a handy early strategy for the day one run, because you sometimes get things that relate to steps here, which can be really helpful. So I didn't go for the archives one because it's very unlikely I'm going to draw the archives. 2 or more gems, gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your house. No, that's not great. These, again, at this late stage of the drawing, it's not likely I'm going to have either of those. So basically get 1 opportunity for this to happen now, with 1 room left that we can draw on the map. So it's the best of some very poor options here in terms of the late game and what we were given. But it's literally only that gymnasium room that's left to fill. So, No, he didn't take another gamble. I say he, like it's not me last week, but there we go. I'm watching it with fresh eyes. Where am I going now? To the gymnasium door, just to find out what that is going to be. Interestingly, the pool is useless strategy now, and I think this is the point where I realised that I wasn't going to get that access side, which is the pool and the pump room, sorted, so I just went for this to get the extra coins. And there's a chance of getting items in here as well. Over here on this side, sometimes you can find the shoes or the lockpicks, things like that. There's sometimes a key under the telly, so it's again very important to check every surface and don't just glance. Have a good old detailed look. Don't waste a coin using the Zoltar machine because it's useless. It only serves lore purposes anyway, so it's an absolute waste of a coin on a day 1 run. You don't need it. I think I almost gave up at this point because I didn't think I was going to manage it, knowing that I didn't have any dice to try and do the tomb method, and sort of facing reality of, well, that's another run done. It was very annoying throughout this challenge to have the ones where you almost made it. I think this was me looking at options in terms of whether I could find any other dice anywhere. So I'm glad I persevered anyway, because completionism. But that's another important piece of advice. Don't give up, because you need to be ready to turn on the dime and look at those options and which one you have access to, which ones you don't have access to, and which is going to be the best method moving forward. So here I think I was thinking go to the outer room, see what comes up. You might get the tool shed, which will give you something valuable potentially. I don't know what would have saved this at this point, but just for curiosity's sake, I was going to just check out what we got. Now, this, I know what happens here, and you probably know what happens here. Unbelievably lucky pull with the tomb. Absolutely insane. I could not believe that I had this. And I obviously mute the microphone on when I'm playing because I'm usually talking about other stuff. But I know for a fact that I screamed when I pulled the tomb because I really was not expecting it on the first one. Sometimes you get lucky with 1 dice. Usually you need 2 dice to pull the tomb on that outer room. But yeah, fate smiled at me on this day. Whether that was deliberate by the game or not, I don't know, but I'm grateful for it because it literally saved this run. And now, as a result of that, I have everything that I need to be able to finish this journey, which is very exciting indeed. So here's the order of the statues to open up the access. Again, slightly spoilerish, but having done it so many times, I don't actually need to look it up anymore. I know where to start, I know the route. It's quite a simple route actually. You just need to know which one to start with and how to move around. But it's basically a big loop. And then we head down here and we're into the end game, and just time for me to talk about the gorgeous music of this game. Every single queue I think has wonderfully appropriate music, and this end game I found myself getting quite emotional because the way the music sort of comes in as you progress is just magnificent. I love the soundtrack. It's by Trig and Gusset and they are incredible. They've played a blinder with the music in this game. With 70 steps, this is in the bag. I don't need to worry. So here's step 1 of getting the access to the antechamber. So you need to move this minecart. It is a requirement to be able to access both sides of the gear puzzle and be able to make the moves that you need to make in order to get across and back again. So that's done. We haven't got the running shoes, which I normally would want to aim for as well, to try and reduce the number of steps you need. So many things that I thought would be the typical routes and didn't end up being, and it's so fascinating to me that I managed this with a foundation pull, as I said, because how rare I got that in the main game. Not in the main game, in the series of these runs. I went down here. I think I was going to visit the locksmith, but I don't know why, because I don't need any more keys. I've got access. I think that was just a completionism type thing, getting the gate open, because we're going back through the garage. And also, conveniently, the foundation is really close to the antechamber, so we don't actually need many steps to get in between them, which is great. Very, very handy. So yeah, this is just a victory lap at this point now, because I think I was still in a bit of disbelief and just sort of thinking, no, I must have miscounted or not accounted for something. But no, here we are going to the basement with over 60 steps left, which is plenty for everything that you need to do, even with having to go back and forth around the gear puzzle, which does sometimes take a step. I can't remember what the actual gated trigger is. Oh look, there's another upgrade disc we won't need, because we're not drawing any more rooms at all now, but there we are. Yeah, so heading into the basement. I did use a bit of an exploit here, which is, you're going to see, it's a famous exploit, because I don't feel too bad for using it, because I have solved this room puzzle before, legitimately, so I don't feel at all remorseful that I cheesed it a little bit. I didn't cheese it massively, as I have seen some people do, but I definitely did abuse it a little bit, and you'll see it in a moment what happens. But big fan of this puzzle. The first time we saw it, and the fact that it's one of those slide the box in a particular way puzzles, but it's just really thematically gorgeous. I think moving crates around like this in a basement, it just fits really nicely, and the fact that you can go 3 different routes and pick up various bits of lore is also really fun. That's another great thing about this game, is just how much is put into it, considering the size of the team. It's a really deep game, and I find that really wonderful. We've had a great time with this game. We're coming to the end of it, because we've just finished what ostensibly is the final puzzle, and I won't explain what that is if you haven't got there yet, but here's the cheese. There we go. We just use the room menu while moving forward and pressing circle rapidly, and it sort of lets you float across. There we go. Do it again here, because the smaller gap, easier to manage, and then get to this button. But yeah, I've completed curse mode. We've got all but one trophy left to get, which is the drafting strategy, which I know is going to frustrate me even more, but that'll be another fun task. And then after that, we've done everything until they release the next update, which includes the Dirigiblocks and anything else they want to do. I think they've said they're going to add more cutscenes for the different modes of the game, different versions of the story, so that's interesting. But yeah, really, really fun. Love this game, and for it being on PlayStation Plus, and you know, it's not free to use PlayStation Plus, but it works out that you get the game for free. Wonderful, and we've sunk hundreds of hours into this game. I haven't actually looked at the count as to how many hours, but I imagine it's easily over 200, possibly 300 hours in terms of how long we've been playing it for. It's just great, and I've recommended it to so many people, and like I said, there's so many little pops of joy. I'm talking over the gear puzzle because it's rudimentary really. You just need to know how to manipulate the dials to get to where you need to get to. Rush down here and get to that final lever. And this music here is quite pressing and intense, and I love that. The first time we got down here, it was like our minds had been blown. It was like that Stranger Things 3 where they discover the Russian base underneath the mall. You know what I mean? That moment of, oh my god, this is a whole other, and then seeing those 8 doors, and obviously this music, and I can feel my skin getting goose pimples as we speak now. It's just gorgeous, and again, I think I just really reveled in this moment. I think I even slowed down in a minute. Normally I run right through the game, which has poisoned me playing any other games, which I've become ingrained to think that L2 is run. So I'm trying that in GTA and just aiming every time. Yeah, gorgeous. And this is just this final moments of this game, and the relief of knowing that this day one challenge was going to be over, I think was adding to my emotions here. And so yeah, even with all of that, still 58 steps. Definitely don't need that many. So it's just a case of enjoying the boat. We didn't need to use the boat. We didn't need to use the fountain access or anything. We just got the traditional, if you like, method of getting to the antechamber. So yeah, it's a short walk from here to the antechamber itself, and then through to room 46. So I think it's just a case of reveling in this gorgeous music for a moment, because this is the first time you get this as well. The culmination of however many days it's taken to get you to that point is such a beautiful moment in the game. And this is me just making sure I'm going the right way at this point, and I think I still got it wrong. Yep. But it doesn't matter because I've got loads of steps. So just take a slow walk through the cloister and then up through the office. Is it? No, through the dining room, across the dining room. See why I get confused so easily. That's why it's important to keep track of things. And then through into the antechamber, up to door 46, and that is our day one challenge done. I didn't watch the cutscene, I don't think, because I was just overwhelmed with emotion. And it's a beautiful way to finish the game in the main story, but I just didn't need it there. Did I skip it? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, so... Oh no, I did skip it. Because you need to continue to get the trophy, and I figured if I missed the, I didn't know, I wasn't timing it, so I didn't know how long it had taken me either. So yeah, I wanted to move forward. Interestingly, I was well on the way to the dead end challenge there as well. I had 12 dead end rooms, but yeah, not what I was aiming for. So not bothered that I didn't get it there. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. We're almost to the end of this run. Obviously, the actual run is over. About 40-ish minutes overall, not including the credits. Not bad, I'll take that. And then you just go to the next day to pick up the trophies and finish the run. But thanks for watching. As I said, drop me a like and a comment. What was your favourite bit? What would you have been thinking if you'd managed this? And subscribe, because I've got more coming to this channel soon. It's been a bit dormant for a while, but I've got some GTA things which are coming back, and probably no more Dead by Daylight because I think I'm done with that game. But hopefully some streaming is going to open up again soon. My work situation is changing, so I might be here a lot more. But for now, that is the end of the day one challenge run. Thank you for joining me and watching. I did a really cheeky filmmaker fade out here, I think, if I remember rightly. Oh no, I did that for curse mode. Oh, I did do it on here as well. Nice little fade to the sky. Thanks so much, and see you here again soon.